He's running a tight ship. All right.
Get their attention.
Where's that? Hit that gavel. Hit that gavel.
Where did everyone go?
I said, hit that gavel.
So I will.
Where is everybody?
Now I tell Warren, I'm crazy.
All right, good evening, everyone. Just to kind of lay out tonight's plan, we really have three meetings tonight. We have the first portion, which will be the last meeting of the old council, and then we'll have the first meeting of the new council that will convene, and then we also have a community facilities district board meeting tonight as well. So I'm sure you'll all hang around for that one. But I want to welcome everybody tonight, and first order of business is to call to the order, and we'll have the invocation by Pastor Paul and the Pledge of Allegiance by Mr. Matt Herman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Paul Elgin, pastor at First Presbyterian Church. This time of year, we usually think of the angel Gabriel coming to give the message to Mary that she will bear the Son of God, but Gabriel actually appears 4 times in the Bible, twice in the Old Testament. When he appears to Daniel, he tells Daniel he has heard his prayer. In Daniel chapter 9, we see Gabriel saying, "I have now come out to give you insight and understanding." It's something we all could use this time of year. "At the beginning of your pleas for mercy, a word went out, and I have come to tell it to you, for you are greatly loved." May we listen to God's word tonight as we approach our business. Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask your blessing upon this meeting tonight and the work that will be done here. I ask you to bless Councilman Varela and his work and his continued work for your service, Father. His blessing upon that, and blessing upon Councilman Huddleston as he begins a new phase of his service to our city. Let us all look upon our service to this city as service to you, knowing that, as the Apostle Paul said, all authority is granted from you, so it is you we should look for guidance, wisdom, and grace. Let us take as our example those who have served from both sides of the aisle, but perhaps tonight remember especially George H.W. Bush, your servant in war and in peace, good times and challenging times. Give us, as he displayed, an awareness of servant leadership rather than command privilege. Now bless all who stand in harm's way, be they first responders, police, fire, rescue. Bless all those who serve us to protect us and protect justice, because they also serve you. And bless our leaders tonight here and their work. Grant them decision-making born of knowledge, experience, and your wisdom, both towards each other and to those who they lead. All of this we ask in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Paul. Thank you, Matt. Tonight, let the roll call show that everyone is present.
So noted.
Addressing the minutes, Mayor McFarland, I move that we approve the City Council regular meeting minutes from November 19th, and accept for the record the Board of Appeal minutes for October 10th, Airport Advisory Board minutes from August 28th, Arts and Humanity Commission minutes from September 26th, Judicial Selection Committee minutes from November 15th, and the Industrial Development Authority special meeting minutes from September 13th as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded twice. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. D, claims against the city.
Mayor McFarland, I move for approval of claims against the city for November 14th through November 27th as presented.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the claims are approved. Meeting agenda approval. We have any changes, Larry?
We have no changes, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I'll move or hear a motion to approve tonight's meeting
Move
agenda.
approval as presented.
Second.
Okay, the meeting agenda has been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. I think we do have a special presentation tonight. It's a retirement recognition. Do I have a plaque for that?
For Linda.
It's a stash.
Aha. Josiah Cobb, is that? Did I butcher that down there? I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's back there. She's back there.
Don't stay back there.
Can't hide.
So now I won't be parking in your parking spot anymore.
Exactly. I was going to tell you for the next 3 days. It's fine.
You know, you can park there.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, just a few comments in terms of Ms. Cobb here. Not an outgoing personality at all. Her institutional knowledge obviously was going to be sorely missed in our planning department. So for the last 24 years, your frequent face and help people first attitude, public engaged with the development center, and made lasting impressions on many of us, including myself.
Is that good or bad?
That's good. Thank you. But like a good basketball team, and this now I'm going to paraphrase. A good basketball team is highly functioning office needs a good point guard, and you are it. Often played that role in the development center, making sure the public was directed to the best staff person in our organization and address their questions and service needs. So, on behalf of a grateful city council, staff, and a city, recognizes Ms. Cobb for outstanding service from August 12th, 1991 to December 6th, 2018.
Wow.
You want to say a couple words?
3 things. Where's Paul? Sorry, says 3 things. 1, I'm taking the mayor's spot for the next 3 days. 2, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been here, when I tell you my kids are 29 and 34, I've been here a while. But Casa Grande has been good to me and my family. And it's because of y'all. Where's David Woodward? Okay, never mind. I appreciate it. I do have to note that December 6th is my husband's birthday, that I'm retiring on his birthday. It's a good present, right?
That's it.
But I wanted to say thank
Good
you.
luck.
We'll ask him next year.
He doesn't celebrate his birthday well, so this is my gift to him. He gets me as a secretary from now on.
Oh.
Right. But thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next item on the agenda is item G, consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine matters and will be enacted by one motion, one roll call vote of the council. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or member of the public so requests. in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Does anybody have anything you want to remove? Okay. I'll consider a motion.
Mayor McFarland, I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgibbon.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitson.
Yes.
Councilmember Varela.
Yes?
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Herman.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. Okay, next item on our agenda tonight is item H. Is that, I don't have my glasses on, Jesus. H. Public comments. So this is an opportunity for the public to address the council. Since it's not an agendized item, we can't comment other than to ask staff to potentially follow up on items that are suggested or recommended. But this is an opportunity for you to come forward. I would request that if you do, you state your name and your address for us, and then also try and keep your comments to 3 minutes. I might give you a little more than that, but I'll give you the high sign when your 3 minutes is up and you can wrap up your comments. All right, so would anyone like to approach the podium? Mr. Goss?
David Goss, 1676 East Gabrella. Mayor, City Council members. First off, without the City of Casa Grande's support and encouragement, we would have not started building our business here in 2003. We had found a home. Secondly, I would like to thank the City of Casa Grande for their support and encouragement in building our new proposed $3.5 million hangar to house a former World War II Navy patrol bomber, the only one of its kind in the world. But as of this past Saturday, I have called Jeff Van Heis at Gallo Construction and told him to put on hold the building of this new hangar until the skydiving drop zone on airport property is settled. The people that finance this patrol bomber told me Saturday they will have to pull the aircraft out of Casa Grande for safety reasons. This also means we won't have the 2 corporate jets that were going to stay in the same hangar. I have never regretted coming to Casa Grande. As for the future, I had hoped we had found a home for our business, for my family, for my daughter's family, and for my granddaughter. But now I don't know. We will have to weigh all our options and see where it lays. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. You got it.
My last time as mayor.
John Smith, 108 West Cholla, Casa Grande, Arizona. I don't know whether I got a statement about one of the presentations earlier about the study session.
You can say anything you'd like.
Okay. Undoubtedly, the gentleman did his job very well. That presented his program. It was to cause a little bit of confusion, to scare people, and I didn't appreciate his approach. I'm sorry, I don't like being threatened, and I felt like he threatened the council and the city. I take umbrage with some of the things he said. One thing that he talked about, it costs millions of dollars sometimes to do these CON applications. I understand that it does cost money. There's no doubt about that. Millions? I got my doubts unless it's extreme circumstances. I feel like the city would make a mistake if they did not go after the CON, even with him threatening to sue us to cause millions of dollars of cost to the city. You want to control your destiny to a certain extent. And as long as they have the CON, Casa Grande has no say in what they do. I mean, we tried to do a contract. How long have we been trying to do a contract? Since 17? They're not going to do a contract. Even if we drop our deal, we're still not going to get a contract out of them, because they're going to tell you what they're going to give you instead of you telling them what we need and getting it. I have that issue with them. Whether the city does the ambulance or whether you contract with them later on, but you need the CON in order to consolidate your public safety program and to control the destiny of that program. I also just didn't like the way he was. But I feel like that is my main concern, was that we don't want to give it up. We had the CON at one time, way back in the day, and the chief that we had at the time didn't like doing EMS, so he let that CON go away, and now we're going to fight to try to get it back. We should never have let it go in the first place. So that's my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Mr. Lavender?
Good evening, Mayor. Jeff Lavender, 1212 East Clearview Drive. Dr. Gonzalez apologizes she's not able to be here with me tonight. But first of all, we wanted to thank Ralph for the great partnership that we had with him while he's been on our council and supporting our school district through scholarship fundraising, through the Unity March, through the Unity Committee. Ralph's been a great partner. We also want to thank each of you, as well as you, Chief Huddleston, for your public support of our override election. We know it was key in obtaining a 55% approval rate and much needed funding for our students for the next 5 years. So we thank you and we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. And we're glad it passed.
Hello, my name is Julie Crockett, and I'm coming as a citizen of Casa Grande and as the Just Serve Specialist over the Casa Grande Coolidge area. I just wanted to thank the council for the support that they've been given to the Mayor's Coalition on Homelessness. I've sat on some of those meetings. I sat on a committee for the Resource Center. I am so excited about the proactive approach of citizens and community members and government officials working together to solve a problem that affects all of us. And I just wanted to thank you for your support. Very excited about it. I know that as I speak about volunteerism in the community, volunteers are excited about it. So just feel great about the work that you do. Thank you for all of the work that you do and the service that you give us, and I appreciate it. I just wanted to tell you that. Thank you.
Thank you. We're feeling pretty good tonight.
Well, no, wait a minute.
David had
We got David. Hold
Come
your
on.
horses.
You have 3 minutes, David.
And I hear the hammer behind me. David Snyder, 815 East Stonewood, Casa Grande. I'm here to say that I really appreciate Mr. Ralph Varela. He has been a warrior and is a warrior for this county, for this community. He has spent a lifetime caring about people and doing his level best to see that they can do better, that they have the resources that they need to improve themselves, to keep their heads above water, and to succeed. And he does it because he knows it feels good. He knows that that's what we're here to do. I can't tell you how much I appreciate his quiet work for all of us, for all of the communities in this county, all of the communities, for the most part, in this state. I am so proud to acknowledge him as a friend. I am proud to have had him as our councilman, and I'm even proud that he lives in my neighborhood. Now, if I can get him to put his recycling box out there, I'd be even better. But I wanted to take this opportunity to acknowledge his contributions and to know, because I know you know, this is not the end. He will keep on giving all the way. Thank you, Ralph. Well done.
Richard Rosales, 462 West Casa Grande Lakes Boulevard North. Two separate comments. First of all, question for Paul. How long are you shutting the planning zoning department down while you find a new point guard to replace Hosea? Okay, because she did a great job, and Mayor summed it up with all his comments, so congratulations to Hosea. Secondly, I just also wanted to, everything David said, he took all the words that I was going to say about Mr. Varela, but one word that he did not mention, and thank you for all your years of service for the council, but one word that he did not mention that I want to mention is the servant leadership that you provide us. So I know you will continue to give to our community. You'll still be around, but on behalf of everyone on the west side of Pinell, thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, anyone else? Other comments? Okay, then I'll close the floor and we'll move on with our business here. Under item K, K1, resolution 5150. Sylvia?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of council. Tonight we have a recommendation from staff to authorize a resolution to use the amounts that were levied under the secondary property tax and are currently available to prepay a portion of our eligible general obligation debt. So a little bit of background information. In 2017, there was an amendment to ARS 35458, which pretty much restricted the amount of available debt service funds that the city could keep on hand. And so it was limited to 10% of our annual debt service. So we have an amount in excess of that we need to put towards one of the eligible uses. Alternatives that we could use the money for are, one, to provide a temporary one-time decrease in the secondary tax levy by not levying a tax. That's inconsistent kind of with our goal to provide a consistent rate of tax for our levy. The second would be to do a cash defeasance, which is what we have before you as a recommendation tonight. The third is a refunding or an advanced refunding opportunity, but because we've done a couple in the past, and there was also legislation prohibiting tax-exempt advanced refundings, there are very limited opportunities there. The fourth one would be to do a combination towards any new money for any bond issues that we would have done this year, but we didn't have any of those currently planned before June 30th either. So taking into consideration the property tax rates, our strategy to keep those at a level for the residents, and also our limited ability to do advanced refundings, our recommendation tonight is to take the amount that's available in the fund balance and pay down eligible GO bonds. And so we estimate that at this time at $2.7 million, which would defease a portion of our debt on eligible 2008, 9, and 16 debt. I also wanted to mention that our financial advisor, Darren, is here tonight as well and in the audience to answer any technical questions that you might have. But otherwise, I am ready to answer any questions that you might have of me.
Questions?
It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. All right. Then, Gloria, can I get a resolution number, please?
Resolution number 5150, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Casa Grande, Arizona, authorizing and providing for the transfer of available city funds to deficits and redeem a portion of the outstanding city of Casa Grande, Arizona general obligation bond series 2008, city of Casa Grande, Arizona general bond series 2009, city of Casa Grande, Arizona general bond series 2016A, and City of Casa Grande, Arizona General Obligation Refunding Bond Series 2016B, authorizing the direct payment or the execution of a depository trust agreement for the safekeeping and handling of monies to be used to pay the bonds being defeased, providing the form of certain documents and authorizing completion, execution, and delivery thereof, authorizing the taking of all other actions necessary to the consummation of the transactions contemplated by this resolution, and ratifying the actions of all officers and agents of the city and others with respect to the transfer, prepayment, deficits, and redemptions.
Mayor McFarland, I move for the adoption of resolution number 5150 as read.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Councilmember Kurtzen.
Yes.
Councilmember Varela.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Herman.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right, item L is, or I'm sorry, K. We need to appoint an interim city judge to fill in for the remainder of this year and into the first part of January, right, Larry? Till our first meeting, probably in January.
Mr. Mayor, it's uncertain at this point. Our Judicial
Schedule.
Selection Committee is in the process
Okay.
and anticipates having some recommendations to the mayor and council within the next week to 2 weeks. So based on their recommendations, we'll set the meeting appropriately.
Okay, but we need an interim in the meantime.
That's correct.
Pardon me.
Is this a motion or?
Yes, it's a motion.
Mayor, I would move that we go by the mayor and council, consider the appointment of the current sitting judge, Diane Juarez, to serve the interim city judge until such time as the council has filled the position of city judge from recommendations provided by the Judicial Selection Committee.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Do I need a roll call vote on this, or can we voice?
It's a motion, you can do a voice vote.
Yeah, okay. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So, Deani, if you're out there, you're on for another month and a half or two. Okay. Item L is a public hearing. This is on our proposed development impact fee update. So, Mr. Stephen, you're up.
Actually, it's going to be me, Mr.
Oh,
Mayor.
okay.
Mr. Turner would normally be presenting, but was called to other duties this evening.
Oh, it does say assistant to the city manager.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. So as the mayor and council is fully aware, we have been working on a update to our development impact fee study for several months. In fact, we've started this process over a year ago with the actual study. And earlier this year, or within the last couple of weeks, the mayor and council did pass a notice of intent to proceed with a public hearing on the development impact fees, and tonight's meeting is actually that. Following tonight's public hearing, the council will be considering the revised development impact fees on or after January 7th, 2019. And on September 17th, the City Council approved the land use assumptions and infrastructure improvement plan, and any fees that may be approved on or after January 7th will not be affected for at least 75 days after the adoption of the revised fee. And what I thought I would do, Mr. Mayor, for the benefit of the public, is just quickly go over a couple of slides to talk about those development impact fee, the proposed rates, the proposed fees, as well as to talk about the next steps in the timeline. As you can see here in this first particular slide, we've got the individual categories comparing the fees associated with our 2012 study compared to our proposed fees in our 2019 study. And as you can see that in all of the categories excluding parks, we are expecting a reduction in those various elements. There is an increase in the parks category, but nevertheless, on the residential development impact fees, we are anticipating that we will see a reduction in those particular development impact fees on single family dwelling units. You'll see on the wastewater that we, as the mayor and council is aware, and I do have a map that will outline this in a little more detail here in a second, we do break our wastewater development impact fees down into two zones, Zone A and Zone B. There is a proposed reduction in Zone A. There is a slight increase in Zone B.
Not according to this.
But again, the overall net is roughly $1,350 to a residential a residential structure.
Larry, on that last slide, that bottom number there, are they backwards?
No.
12 and 19?
That's it.
Something's wrong.
It's 42.99, top 258, and the bottom's 57.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, they are.
We might want to change that.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get that clarified.
Since this is like a public hearing, right?
Yes.
This is public notification on these.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this slide was actually developed for the PowerPoint presentation. The document, the study was actually posted, and I'm fairly sure that it was accurate.
Just make sure.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
This talks specifically about non-residential development impact fees, which we do have a variety of categories ranging from commercial, retail, as you can see, to institutional, business park, light industrial, warehousing, manufacturing, and assisted living. As you can see, all of these are based on a square footage as in our fee schedule. And overall, you'll see that we are expecting a reduction in every one of the categories to the commercial, industrial type development impact fees, excluding the assisted living. There are some, this is a category that we've added specifically, and there's some additional costs that they would be expecting in this upcoming study. And then this actually outlines the various costs associated with the sewer. And as the mayor and council is aware, the city of Casa Grande does not provide the water service and the water infrastructure. We ultimately end up establishing our rates around a meter size, which actually is will actually drive down in the development impact fee study into the capacity of water that would be provided. And so we break it down into various meter sizes, ranging from a 3/4 inch meter up to a 2-inch. And you can see that we're anticipating decreases in Zone B for the commercial. There will be increases if you are actually in Zone A. I believe that these numbers are accurate comparatively to the residential side. You can see the difference there. Again, we're anticipating that our commercial development impact fees are based on a square footage. And when you apply those calculations, we are anticipating, even with the increase in the Zone A, we are anticipating that in most categories, our commercial and industrial users will see some type of a decrease from what our rate is today from our 2012 study. And just for everyone's information, and again, Mr. Mayor and Council, this is a map that has been made public on our website, and we've used it on several of occasions as we were going through the study. This outlines the various zones, A and B. As you can see, there are some inherent additional costs that would be associated with Zone B because of the proximity to the wastewater treatment plant, and so the majority of the increases that you see between the two zones has to do with sewer main versus sewer treatment. The increases are actually with the sewer mains and because of the proximity to the wastewater treatment plant. As I said earlier in the presentation, we've been working on this particular project for over a year now. There are really the Arizona revised statutes do drive the timing of development impact fees, regardless if you're increasing or decreasing. We have the same obligation from a timing perspective. And ultimately, we have two elements that are important and that in fact require some level of public participation and hearing. And this outlines the start of the land use and assumptions. And as the mayor and council is aware, we have gone through that process. You can see starting in June, we finalized that process from the land use perspective in November. We then launched on the development impact fee adoption timeline itself, starting in October with a notice of intention to assess the development impact fees. And here we are tonight on December 3rd, where I'll be asking the mayor to open the public hearing to entertain any comments from the public tonight. And then on January the 7th, we'll be asking the council to consider adopting the development impact fees study and the rates associated with that. And then ultimately the second read, and then just the timing again that is required by state statutes. We're anticipating that based on the most a timeline that most aligns with the state statute, that the effective date will be April 8th. Obviously, the mayor and council has the ability to set that anytime after that date, but ultimately, we're showing April 8th as that effective date at this point. And with that, Mr. Mayor, we'd ask that you open the public hearing and we'd entertain any questions thereafter.
Yeah, so there's no action needed tonight, right, Larry? It's just a public hearing. So I will open the floor for any public comments or any interested public who would like to comment on this subject, which is our proposed development impact fee schedule.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, John McGuire, 941 East Penny Lane. About 400 things I wish I had time to speak on tonight, so I'll try to limit my comments to you, because most of you are aware of my positions on these issues. But I do want to take 10 seconds and thank Mr. Varela for his service on the council, and I know he'll do well and continue to support the community in the future. On this particular issue, the faster the better, as far as I'm concerned. You know, let's get this going. I wish there was a way all these people who are pending in the process now, we could just float their payments to the future so that they get building faster, because I don't even want to wait till April for some of this stuff. So I hope that when the meeting does come up for a vote in 2 weeks, that you will all support this change, and let's get this growth going again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, so seeing no one rush up to the podium, then I'll close the public hearing and ask the council if you have any questions or comments. Lisa?
Not a question, but just kind of to follow up on John. You know, we know this has been something that has been an issue and people have been concerned about, and it's been a long process. So of course we would speed it up if we can, but like Larry said, there's nothing we can do about the timeline. So, you know, we're looking forward. It was, you know, good to do the study. We know we needed to make some changes, so we think it's going to be good. And April 8th can't come soon enough, but you know, it's a good thing. So thanks for all of you who participated in this study also.
That's out of our hands as far as when.
Timing, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Anybody else? Any other comments? Okay, since there's no action on that, then we have no executive session. I did close the public hearing. Didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna do reports, but we're gonna do reports in the second one for us, and I was gonna allow Ralph maybe to do his report here, and then we have reports also in the second meeting. So is everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give Ralph the floor. Mr. Varela?
The floor. I'm good. Really, the only thing is I attended the electric light parade, and it's awesome as ever. The crowds were real good, and it was a really great job by the departments that were all involved. And I'm always amazed at how by 11 o'clock the streets are cleaned, and you could never told that there was a parade. And you know, it's just a wonderful feeling, and so I'm totally appreciative of that.
Okay. That's all you want to say?
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, I get to say more.
Yeah, he wants to say more.
What do I say?
Say more.
He wants to say more. Yeah.
I want to say more.
Say more, Ralph. Say more, Ralph.
I got it.
Oh, he has his thing.
Oh, look, I have notes.
I was giving you the floor.
I know.
Yeah, geez, I thought he was good. Well, it's, maybe that's why I put it. Well, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to have served 12 years. It's a great community. It's been a wonderful opportunity to be a servant to the community. Enjoyed the whole council working together on so many things. And as I look at it, we've accomplished quite a lot. You know, everything we've done over 12 years, it's just amazing. And everything that's in front of the council for the next few years is also just amazing. And I think we've always tried to balance the rural with the growth. The strategic plan, I think, has been so crucial because it really talked about not only the strategic parts of it and the 5 pillars of it, but to me what was real important was the whole issue of honoring the diversity in the community and the quality of life. And so those have been real crucial. Really want to thank the staff. I've known Larry since his days in Eloy and heard rumors about him in Douglas. No, not really. I'm glad you came this way. And I know I've seen David and Joanne and John here, all the meetings, and truly appreciative because that's what being involved in your community, and so many of you that have come and raised issues, and we always haven't agreed, but it's always been so important to have everybody's voices, and always been very appreciative of all the comments that have been made. And I think the other part of it, it's just been a great pleasure, and been a great pleasure being a servant to the community. Thank you.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I first met Ralph years ago at the senior, remember the senior fair they used to have at CAC? And he was kind of walking around lost, and I was too, and we found out we were both candidates. And been a friend ever since. I know Vinny has had a lot of influence on what the council's done and not done, and especially how they bet on the dogs.
Yes.
But
Didn't do us much
I
good.
think one of the things, Ralph's been our conscience. He's the one that is a people person. He thinks about people. And a lot of times we get embroiled in policies, we want to do this or that, and all of a sudden we get humbled when he starts talking about how it affects people. So that's so special about you. And you're my compa. And
For sure.
for one other thing is you said you wanted to be a vaquero.
Yes, I want to ride a horse.
Put that hat on, buddy.
Do you want to say? Go ahead.
Sure, and and I also wanted to, when I moved back to Casa Grande with my family, and I met Ralph right away, and he immediately got me involved in some of the activities with the community, and it's just, I agree with Councilmember Powell. He just has such a big heart, and he doesn't do this for personal gain. He doesn't do it, he doesn't have an ego. He truly cares about people. And I've learned so much from you. You've been a great mentor, have always encouraged me. He's always been there when I have my little questions and issues, and he's been the calm in the storm. But I truly appreciate and everything you've done for this community, Ralph, and it's been such a pleasure to serve with you and learn from you. And I know you're going to continue to be there, for someone that values, diversity and everyone in this community. And there's not many people that really care about every person in this community, and Ralph does, and he thinks about everyone. And it's just been a pleasure, the 8 years I've been on, all the encouragement you've ever given me, and I'm just truly grateful to call you a friend, and you'll always be my friend. And I'm sure he's going to be here, and he has all our numbers, so he'll be able to track us down.
You got Danny's number, right?
But I know he's not going anywhere. He's going to continue to serve, and it's going to be a pleasure to continue working. So thank you for everything, Ralph.
Matt?
Yeah, I just want to tell everyone, first, we do this the first and third Monday of every month, if you ever want to. Usually there's 4 people here. But very deserving, because I know a lot of you here tonight for Ralph. And I had the honor of meeting Ralph about, 10 years ago when I started, and he took me in right away, helped me out, showed me the ropes. And it's ironic that he's sitting on the right up here and I'm sitting on the left, because it's, a little bit different from how we see things. But but the neat thing about it is we've always been friends, and truly friends, not just, we get along. And I've had the opportunity to serve with him on a lot of different subgroups, is that what we call it, right? The subgroups. especially the capital improvement committee. I think that's one of the first good times that Ralph and I spent together, and we have, you know, like I said, different views on money, but we, you know, and I've always said nothing happens over here, nothing happens over here. It's all going to happen in the middle, you know. And Ralph really taught me that, because we were sitting up there one day, and I think the subject of public transportation came up, and for me, it's kind of funny because that's never going to pan out, right? It's never going to pay. But this guy actually just said a few words to me, and it was about people again, because that's how Ralph sees it, is from this point of people, a different perspective than I would ever have, and he's shares that with me, but not in a condescending way, but he just allows me to see it. And, you know, now I'm almost getting to do this public transportation thing. But it truly is a thing. It is, you know, I appreciate different viewpoints, because nothing's going to happen just the way I see it. And he has allowed me to see things in a totally different way. And he's made so much things in this city better because of what he's done.
Right.
Well, Mr. Powell took a lot of mine, and that, particularly the conscience part of it. And so, first of all, we're breaking up the Catholic bloc. We're going to have to, yeah, we need to remember. Ralph's a wise man. There's a difference. He's carrying in it, but he's wise, and he has a way to impart reason, and it's because he truly wants you to understand. He just isn't saying it, but he wants you to understand and to feel what he's saying. And one of his favorite things is, I'll be griping about something. I don't gripe much, but I'll be griping. And Ralph's for this is, Mary, Mary, Mary. You know, let the people do that. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. And how do you say no to that? And again, what you've done to our community, I have no doubt we're going to continue to see you. I'm going to see you in that. And hopefully that you'll give me a buzz and I would go, okay, Mary, I saw you there, and let me just give you a couple of words of wisdom. So don't hesitate. You got my number, but more important, you got Danny's number.
I have Danny's number.
You do.
I do.
Thank you so much.
Donna?
Ditto on what everybody said. Back in 2003, when we moved back to Casa Grande, a lot of people may not know this, but Ralph was actually a volunteer of mine on a board at juvenile court. And so as time moved on, we got to know each other in a different way. And, you know, everyone here has talked about character and what you care about as a community. And so I think that for you to know that all of us will carry on your tradition of teaching people about diversity and character and integrity. And that's what you're going to leave here tonight with, knowing that what you've done has made a difference. So thank you.
And I'm going to save my comments for a presentation that I want to give to Ralph. So what we'll do, just to lay out the game plan here, we're going to adjourn sine die, which basically means we're going to then move into the next phase of the meeting. We'll ask Ralph to step down from the dais, and then we'll have the swearing in of the new council, which is basically myself and Mr. Powell, Matt Herman, and Chief Huddleston, Bob Huddleston. So that's the process. So what we'll do is the swearing in will happen, and then we'll do a call to order for the new council, and then a roll call, and then an introduction of the new council, and then I have some presentations. So Ralph, don't go anywhere.
Stay.
And nobody go anywhere. And then we'll take a little break after that, after the presentation. We have some cake for everybody. And then if you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. If not, then we'll re-adjourn and continue and finish our meeting. So right now, then I'll adjourn the meeting sine die, which means that I'm not in control anymore.
Oh, okay.
Sine die.